Imagine a world teetering on the edge of catastrophe. Wars rage across borders that have bled for millennia. Economies crumble under sanctions and shadows of oil empires. And then, out of the chaos, a single voice rises calm, commanding, cloaked in promises of justice and unbreakable peace. He unites fractured nations not with tanks or treaties, but with a vision so compelling it silences the skeptics. Crowds gather in Tehran, Damascus, even Jerusalem's outskirts, chanting his name as one. He speaks of a golden age where the oppressed rise, the corrupt fall, and faith binds the world in harmony. But what if this Savior isn't here to heal the wounds of the Middle East? What if he's the architect of its deepest betrayal? For those who've studied the ancient scrolls, this isn't fantasy. It is the blueprint of a power play that has been whispered about for over 2,000 years, a figure the Quran hails as the Mahdi, but the Bible brands as the ultimate deceiver. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on this hidden strategy, tracing its roots from forgotten prophecies to the headlines screaming from your phone right now, because in the game of global politics, the deadliest moves aren't the ones you see coming, they are the ones that feel like destiny. You see, I've walked these questions for years, poring over texts that bridge dusty libraries and digital archives, connecting dots between what was written in the shadows of Babylon and what is unfolding under drone skies today. The Middle East isn't just a hotspot. It's the fulcrum of history's grandest showdown, and at its heart lies a paradox, a region born of divine covenants, now a chessboard for powers that promise salvation but deliver chains. This isn't about pitting faiths against each other, it is about discernment in a time when truth wears 1,000 masks. Let's start at the source. Because understanding the Mahdi's role in Islamic eschatology isn't optional if you want to grasp the Bible's counter-narrative. It's the key to seeing how a regional hero could morph into a global tyrant. In Sunni and Shia traditions alike, the Mahdi, the guided one, emerges as humanity's last hope during the end of days. Picture this, the world in turmoil, marked by the Dajjal, Islam's one-eyed false messiah, sowing discord with tricks and tyranny. Enter the Mahdi, a descendant of the Prophet Muhammad, rising from Mecca or Medina. Around the year 2025, in some hadith timelines eerily close to now, he's no ordinary leader. Texts like the Sahih Muslim describe him as a just ruler who fills the earth with equity after it has been gripped by oppression. He rallies an army of the faithful black banners from the east marching to his side, conquering Constantinople in a blaze of victory before turning to Jerusalem. There, he links arms with Isa Jesus in Islamic lore to dismantle the Dajjal's reign and establish a caliphate under Sharia, where wealth flows to the poor and peace reigns for 7 years or more. It's a story of redemption, raw and resonant, especially in a region scarred by colonialism, coups, and endless proxy wars. 2 millions, it's not myth. It's the antidote to the West's hollow democracies and the endless cycle of suffering. But pause here, because this isn't just religious folklore, it is a blueprint for political mobilization that is already echoing in real-time strategies. Look at Iran's theocratic playbook. Supreme Leader Khamenei's fatwas on the Mahdi's imminent arrival fuel everything from nuclear brinkmanship to Hezbollah's border skirmishes. In 2023 alone, state media aired over 500 programs framing regional conflicts as preludes to his dawn, blending prophecy with policy to justify alliances from Yemen's Houthis to Syria's Assad remnants. And it's not isolated. Turkey's Erdogan has invoked Mahdi imagery in speeches, positioning himself as a modern precursor. While Sunni groups in Iraq and Jordan host annual conferences dissecting hadiths for signs of his approach, this isn't passive belief. It's a strategy. It unites disparate factions under a shared eschatological banner, turning spiritual longing into geopolitical leverage. Imagine the RPM revolutions per minute of this narrative. It drives recruitment, sustains morale through sieges, and even influences foreign policy, like Saudi Arabia's quiet pivot toward interfaith dialogues that nod to end times unity. High stakes, high drama, and utterly human in its appeal to justice after injustice. Now layer in the biblical lens, and the parallels hit like a sandstorm. Revelation 6 unleashes the 4 horsemen: conquest, war, famine, death. Galloping across a world that sounds hauntingly like today's Middle East, supply chains shattered by Red Sea attacks, grain silos bombed in Ukraine rippling to Gaza's aid trucks. From this abyss rises the rider on the white horse in Revelation 19. But wait, the Bible's Antichrist isn't a distant villain. He's a master of mimicry. Daniel 8 paints him as a king of fierce countenance who understands dark sentences, rising from the Greco-Roman legacy but twisting it eastward. And 2 Thessalonians 2:3-4. He opposes God, seating himself in the temple, proclaiming divinity amid signs and wonders that dazzle the desperate. Sound familiar? The Mahdi's arrival coincides with chaos. His signs include supernatural aids from Isa, and his rule demands total allegiance, economic, spiritual, territorial. Revelation 13:2-7 grants the beast authority over every tribe, people, tongue, and nation, a global Ummah, if you will, where refusal means exclusion from the bounty. Here's where the power play sharpens into a blade. What if this figure isn't a clash of civilizations, but a convergence? Islamic texts describe the Mahdi battling the Dajjal, a deceiver with one eye, performing false miracles, yet the Bible flips the script. The Antichrist is the miracle worker, empowered by the dragon Satan per Revelation 13:2-2. Both narratives promise a 7-year era of deceptive peace, Daniel 9:27's covenant. With many brokered in Jerusalem, mirrors the Mahdi's march to Al-Aqsa Mosque, where he prays before claiming the holy site. Fact-check this against history. The 1993 Oslo Accords echoed similar peace for land vibes, but crumbled into intifadas. Fast forward to 2002 for ease, Abraham Accords expansions, Bahrain, even Morocco normalizing with Israel, while whispers of a grander Saudi deal dangle like forbidden fruit, analysts at the Brookings Institution noted in their 2024 report how these pacts aren't just economic. They're eschatological theater, with evangelical Zionists and moderate Islamists both eyeing Temple Mount tensions as prophetic fulfillments. Add AI deepfakes. Remember the 2023 viral video of a resurrected Saddam Hussein? And you have tools for lying wonders that could authenticate a Mahdi's miracles, fooling satellite feeds and social scrolls alike. Build on that emotional core. Fear isn't the hook here. It's the ache for resolution. Families in Beirut's rubble-strewn streets, Palestinian olive farmers under drone hum, Israeli settlers scanning horizons for the next rocket. They all crave a leader who says enough. The Mahdi embodies that, a narrative so potent it outpaces dry diplomacy, but the Bible's warning? It's the velvet glove over an iron fist. Ezekiel 38:39's Gog-Magog coalition, Persia, Iran, Kush, Sudan, or Ethiopia, put Libya assembles against a restored Israel, only to shatter under divine intervention. Tie in Zechariah 12:3, where Jerusalem becomes a cup of trembling for all nations, and you see the strategy. A false peace lulls the guard, allowing the deceiver to infiltrate not as conqueror, but confidant. Data from the Pew Research Center's 2025 Global Attitudes Survey shows 68% of Muslims in the region believe end times events are accelerating, up 15% from 2020, correlating with youth unemployment spikes and climate migrations. This isn't coincidence. It's fertile ground for a figure who weaponizes hope. As we climb toward the climax, let's zoom in on the mechanics, because prophecy isn't vague poetry. It's a playbook with timestamps. Step 1, the crisis catalyst. Climate reports from the UN's IPCC warn of unprecedented water wars by 2030 in the Tigris-Euphrates basin, pitting Turkey against Iraq and Syria, with Israel eyeing Jordan River diversions. Enter the Mahdi, brokering water-sharing pacts that double as loyalty oaths, much like Revelation 16's dried-up Euphrates unleashing. Eastern Kings for Armageddon. Step 2, economic entanglement. The Belt and Road Initiative has poured $1 trillion into the region since 2013 per World Bank stats, creating debt traps that bind nations to Beijing's orbit. But imagine a Mahdi redirecting that flow, implementing a halal-certified digital currency that echoes the beast's mark, where transactions require biometric scans tied to faith declarations. We've seen prototypes, Dubai's 2024 blockchain trials for Islamic finance, processing $2 billion in cross-border flows without Western banks. Step 3, the Jerusalem pivot. The Temple Institute in Israel has replicated every vessel for a third temple, ready since 2022, while Waqf authorities on the Mount report unusual excavations amid 2025's fragile ceasefires. A Mahdi who confirms a covenant, perhaps a multinational force securing the site, could greenlight construction, only to desecrate it mid-reign, fulfilling 2 Thessalonians 2:4's abomination. Emotional gut punch. Families reuniting across checkpoints, only for the peacekeeper to demand worship. It's cinematic tragedy. Think Lawrence of Arabia meets The Omen. But rooted in Reuters verified escalations like the 2024 Iran-Israel shadow war, where 300+ drones tested air defenses without full retaliation. And now, the peak, the moment the strategy unravels in prophetic fire. Revelation 19:20, the beast and false prophet cast alive into the lake of fire, their armies. Bird feast at Armageddon's valley. Daniel 11:45 warns the king who exalts himself meets his end with no one to help, no drawn-out siege. It's swift, supernatural. The Mahdi's caliphate, hailed in Davos-style summits as the New World Order, crumbles not to human coalitions NATO's fractured, bricks too opportunistic, but to the rider on the white horse, eyes like flame, sword from mouth. Hope surges here, Isaiah 9:6-7's government on his shoulders, endless peace from David's throne. It's not despair's echo. It's dawn after midnight. The Middle East's scars from Ottoman ghosts to Sykes-Picot betrayals find healing not in human pacts, but divine decree. Revelation 21:4, God wiping every tear, the old order past. Music builds to triumphant crescendo, visuals shifting from storm clouds to radiant horizons, maps glowing with olive branches, wrapping this. I can't shake the realism of it all. We're not scripting sci-fi. We're annotating Lev feeds, the 2025 G20 in Riyadh. It's tabling faith-based resilience agendas, blending Mahdi motifs with unsustainable goals. Quantum computing firms in Tel Aviv and Tehran collaborate on secure prophecy verification apps. Ironic, right? Yet Scripture's anchor holds, test the spirits 1 John 4:2-1, watch for the lawless one unmasked by truth. This power play? It's brilliant, seductive, logical in its step-by-step conquest, but it forgets the author of history. So where does this leave us? Eyes wide, hearts anchored. Discernment isn't paranoia. It's wisdom forged in prayer and page turns. Study the hadiths alongside Habakkuk. Map Isaiah's burdens over Al Jazeera maps. Share this with that friend scrolling doomsday feeds, not to alarm but arm, because the greatest strategy isn't the deceiver's. It's the one that sees through him. If this stirred something, a question, a conviction, a spark, drop it in the comments. Mahdi or beast? East or deception? Your take could wake someone up. Hit like if you're watching the signs. Subscribe for more unfiltered dives into tomorrow's shadows. Bell on so you catch the next. The Marquis's digital dawn, how your wallet becomes the battlefield. Thanks for journeying this far. In a world of spin, you're choosing substance. Stay vigilant, stay hopeful, because the true guide isn't coming from the east. He's returning from the heavens. Peace real, unbreakable starts with knowing the play before it unfolds. God bless, keep seeking, and I'll meet you at the next revelation.